Good morning, America. For our viewers in the West, Democrats divided over President Biden's future. The president battles to save his candidacy, with the focus now on his performance at the NATO summit.
We gather to proclaim NATO is ready and able to secure that vision today and well into the future.
Some Democrats sticking with Biden. Others warn he'll lose in a landslide. And now a 7th House Democrat calls on the president to step aside. Plus, Donald Trump back on the campaign trail for the first time since the debate. Is Trump nearing a running mate announcement?
Overnight, tornadoes tearing through Indiana and Kentucky as remnants of Hurricane Beryl move north.
I just got missed by a tornado, guys.
Millions in Texas are still without power in the sweltering heat. Extreme temperatures on both coasts. Plus, wild flash flooding in Michigan and New Mexico. Ginger is tracking it all.
Urgent investigation after a Dartmouth student was found dead. Police investigating whether hazing was a factor. The fallout this morning.
The FAA investigating an apparent close call. Police dash camera capturing the moment as the two planes look like their paths cross.
Opening statements set to begin in Alec Baldwin's trial. What we know about the jurors seated to hear the case.
Ship out. The growing backlash over soaring tourism. One city now looking to put limits on cruises as other hotspots add fees and taxes to help curb the crush of crowds.
Another state joins the crackdown on phones in schools. How it plans to create phone-free zones.
King's Eye View, a rarely seen wing of Buckingham Palace about to open to the public for the first time ever. We're taking you inside this morning.
And go! The legendary Messi.
And what a goal that was! Lamine Yamal!
And the 16-year-old sensation you have to see to believe. And you won't believe how they met.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
Good morning, America. On this Wednesday morning, we have a lot of news to get to, including more than 1 million people still without power in Texas after the hurricane.
A lot of people in your hometown are really feeling the brunt of this, Michael. And take a live look at those power trucks getting ready to deploy to help restore service in Houston. We're going to have more on the extreme weather just ahead.
First, the latest on President Biden. Some Democratic lawmakers are strongly backing the president, others voicing serious concerns as the president hosts the NATO summit in Washington, where his performance is going to be closely watched. Our senior congressional correspondent Rachel Scott is tracking it all on Capitol Hill. Good morning, Rachel.
George, this morning, President Biden will be on the world stage trying to prove to his party that he has what it takes to stay in the race. It comes as some Democrats warn that if he remains on the ticket, Democrats will lose in November.
This morning, with President Biden determined to stay in the race, Democrats facing a choice whether to stick with Biden or call on him to drop out.
You're riding.
But now a 7th House Democrat, Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill of New Jersey, calling on Biden to withdraw.
I felt I needed to advocate as strongly as possible for new leadership so we could really prosecute the case against Donald Trump.
And overnight, Senator Michael Bennet delivering this blunt warning.
Donald Trump is on track, I think, to win this election and maybe win it by a landslide and take with him the Senate and the House.
Sources tell ABC News Senators John Tester and Sherrod Brown also raised doubts about the president winning re-election when Democrats met behind closed doors.
Do you still support President Biden?
I said Ohioans have legitimate questions about what President Biden is going to do.
That's not a yes.
House Democrats met for hours, too. Sources calling that meeting rough.
Are you all on the same page?
No. What do you mean you're not on the same page? You're not even in the same book.
When all of it was over, Democratic leadership from both the House and Senate saying this.
Right now, President Biden is the nominee, and we support the Democratic nominee.
Are you confident that President Biden has what it takes to win in November and serve the next 4 years?
As I've said before, I'm with Joe.
All of it putting some members who have concerns in a box.
We have no choice but to support him as our nominee and make the best of a complicated situation. I mean, that's the concession to the political reality we face.
But this morning, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi stopped short of saying he should run and said Democrats should hold off until they see how this week goes.
It's up to the president to decide if he is going to run. We're all encouraging him to make that decision because time is running short.
Democrats are closely watching how Biden performs on the world stage during the NATO summit.
We gather to proclaim NATO is ready and able to secure that vision today and well into the future.
The president's rival, former President Donald Trump, has largely remained out of sight, returning to the campaign trail for the first time since the debate.
It doesn't matter who they nominate because we are going to beat any one of them in thundering landslides.
So back here on Capitol Hill, most Democrats telling us they're accepting the reality that even if they have concerns, there's really not much they can do about it. The president is vowing to stay in the race. Democratic leadership is rallying behind him. One thing that Democrats are watching tomorrow, that press conference that the president is expected to give, where he's expected to take a number of questions from reporters, George.
And Rachel, Donald Trump closing in on a VP pick.
Yeah, Donald Trump's advisors say that he is expected to announce who his running mate will be by next Monday. That is just as the Republican National Convention gets underway. Sources tell us it is down to a final three: Senator J.D. Vance, Senator Marco Rubio, and North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum. But sources tell us as of this morning, Trump has still not made a final decision yet, George.
Rachel Scott, thanks, Michael.
All right, thank you, George. Now to the dangerous weather. At least 2 tornadoes overnight as the remnants of Hurricane Beryl move north, and 1 million remain without power in Texas in the life-threatening heat. Victor Oquendo is in Houston with the latest. Good morning, Victor.
Good morning, Michael. This is a staging area for the main utility in the region, CenterPoint Energy. They have 300 of these line trucks here ready to be deployed. Their full force will be out today, racing to restore power to the nearly 1.4 million homes and businesses still in the dark.
I just got missed by a tornado, guys.
Overnight, tornadoes spawned by the remnants of Hurricane Beryl tearing through southern Indiana.
I don't know what to do. I'm just here for some training.
Debris flying through the air, power lines down, buildings damaged. Twisters coming on the heels of Hurricane Beryl that struck Texas and Louisiana, leaving at least 8 people dead. More than 1 million still left without power to swelter in the Texas heat.
It was a long, stuffy night, so I was tossing and turning because I'm pregnant and I'm uncomfortable.
We're seeing this all over Houston. Long lines for those critical supplies like gas. Here at this gas station, the lines wrap around the block in every direction. Blistering heat hitting communities from coast to coast. Temperatures shattering records. In Arizona, Lake Havasu reaching 120 degrees, where a 4-month-old child was transported for heat-related illness to the hospital Friday. Later, passing away. The cause of death has not yet been determined. And despite the danger posed by the heat, tourists flocking to Death Valley National Park.
Heat is part of what makes it impressive, but you have to take care to do so safely.
Park officials reporting an increase in rescues, with one motorcyclist dying from heat-related illness.
Death Valley, it is a dry heat, but that dry heat is pretty intense. So when you step out of your vehicle, it's like stepping your entire body out into an oven.
CenterPoint Energy still can't say when power will be fully restored as the region grapples with this dangerous heat. Another heat advisory for Houston today with the heat index above 100 degrees. Rebecca?
And we're thinking of all the folks there who are having to contend with all of this. Victor, thank you. Meantime, the remnants of Hurricane Beryl are moving north, bringing tornado and flood threats north. Ginger is tracking that and more. Good morning, Ginger.
Yeah, believe it or not, we're still talking about Beryl's remnants, and this time it'll be western New York taking on the tornado threat. I will get to that, but first, it's raining really hard and has been parts of eastern Michigan, so Lapeer or Bad Axe, Detroit, all with it, northwest Indiana too. But watch through the afternoon hours. I'd say after 1 p.m. have 2 ways of getting warnings if you're in Ithaca, Utica, Syracuse, also from Scranton up through parts of southern Vermont. You've got a shot at some of those storms becoming tornadic, if not just having those damaging winds that can be doing plenty of damage. Also, the significant risk for flash flooding is the highest there through northern Vermont, northern New Hampshire, and upstate New York. So keep an eye on that because you could have 2 to 4 inches falling really quickly. Now, these storms are going to break up the serious heat we've been dealing with. The heat advisories are still widespread from Myrtle Beach to Raleigh to Richmond there, but look at those excessive heat warnings. That's for feels likes, upwards of 108 or 110. Baltimore's in it, Washington, D.C., and Philadelphia. George, New York City is already on track to date with our warmest year to date.
Yeah,
and
we
so
can feel it.
we're going to keep on with this trend through next week.
Okay, Ginger, thanks very much. Now to the close call between two airplanes that was captured on a police dash cam. The video shows the two planes appearing to cross paths in the skies over Syracuse. Transportation correspondent Gio Benitez is here with the story. Good morning, Gio.
Hey, George, good morning. Yeah, we always talk about these close calls, but we never do see video of it actually happening. And this one that you're about to see is absolutely stunning. In fact, you're going to see a police officer who's just watching it all happen in disbelief. Take a look.
This morning, the FAA investigating after two planes appear to come dangerously close over Syracuse, New York. Watch this police dashcam video capturing an American Airlines regional jet moments from touchdown, forced to go around as a Delta connection flight took off on the same runway.
When we were descending, there was another plane leaving the runway, so we had to divert and go around Syracuse.
The jets coming less than 1,000 feet vertically from each other, the pilot asking controllers who was cleared for the runway.
Wait, who's cleared to take off on 28?
The dash camera showing that police officer stunned as she witnesses the incident unfold. Passenger Ben Augustine describing what it was like on board.
You heard this other noise, another swooshing noise that sounded like something like Top Gun. The passengers, we all kind of like made that eye contact, that awkward eye contact, or it was like, what's going on?
It's unclear how close the planes came horizontally. The American jet arriving from D.C. circled back for a safe landing, the Delta jet continuing to New York City.
It's clear that the controller was beginning to be overwhelmed. The airplanes became way too close. We know from the data that at one point, one airplane was on top of the other, only 800 feet of separation, and neither airplane could see the other.
This is just the latest close call over American skies as a record amount of Americans are flying. The FAA scrambling right now to hire more air traffic controllers as it deals with a severe shortage.
And this morning, we should tell you that the FAA says that the most serious close calls are actually down 68% since last year. But look, any expert will tell you that it takes just one catastrophic incident to take hundreds of lives. Michael.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't need that, Gio. Thank you so much. Going to turn now to the urgent investigation after a 20-year-old Dartmouth student and fraternity member was found dead this weekend. Police say a hazing investigation is underway. Our Trevor Alt is here with the latest. Good morning, Trevor.
Good morning, Michael. So this investigation is centered on the death of Juan Zhang. He was living on the Dartmouth campus for the summer. And while this investigation is still in its early stages, police have revealed that one lead they're chasing down has come from an anonymous tip.
This morning, the death of Dartmouth student Juan Zhang, prompting the school to suspend a fraternity and sorority as police investigate whether hazing was a factor. Authorities in New Hampshire saying preliminary reports show alcohol may have been a factor in the 20-year-old's death.
We did receive an anonymous email this morning through the college that there may be some hazing involved, so certainly we will look into that aspect of it too.
Police say Zhang was last seen at a social gathering Saturday night on these docks. After an extensive search with drones and divers, an underwater camera found his body Sunday evening 65 feet offshore. Zhang was a biomedical engineering major and a member of the Beta Alpha Omega fraternity. Dartmouth tells us that fraternity, along with the sorority Alpha Phi, had been previously disciplined last fall for alcohol, and Beta Alpha Omega was still on probation. Neither Greek organization has commented, and while both are suspended pending the investigation, police do say so far there's no sign of foul play. The school saying in a statement the entire Dartmouth community is grieving.
I was very upset when we first got the news. I met up with some friends right around here, and we just went on a walk talking about all the great things about Juan, how he always, makes jokes, makes people laugh.
Now, according to the school, the Beta Alpha Omega fraternity was suspended from last fall through the school year. They only moved to probation this summer. Dartmouth says it's working closely with police as this investigation continues, George.
Okay, Trevor, thanks. Now to the crackdown on phones in school. The state of Virginia is now restricting their use. Elizabeth Schulze has the details. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning, George. And Virginia now joins a growing list of states that are banning or limiting cell phones in schools, citing harms from excessive screen time. Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin signed an executive order Tuesday to establish phone-free classrooms in all of Virginia's public schools, grades K through 12. The state's education department will now come up with guidelines for how to restrict phones during class by next January. And the order cites ideas like pouches or dedicated lockers where students can store their phones during the day. This isn't an outright ban. It makes clear that there should be protocols for parents to reach their kids in emergency situations. The executive order says that students who use phones during class learn less and get lower grades, and it warns about a mental health crisis among teens who spend an average of nearly 5 hours every single day on social media. Last month, the U.S. Surgeon General, Dr. Vivek Murthy, called for warning labels on social media, like what you'd see on tobacco products. He told us that this is the defining public health challenge of our time, and this is a warning that has already been resonating with parents and lawmakers. LA School District, which is the second biggest in the country, just approved a ban on cell phones in schools. Other states, Florida, Indiana, and Ohio, have passed similar laws, with more in the works in other states, too. Michael.
Yeah, we'll see how many follow suit there, Elizabeth. Thank you. Going to turn now to a groundbreaking medical procedure, giving a cancer patient a new outlook on life. Larry's here with this story. It's pretty amazing story, Larry.
It really is, and so hopeful. When Marty Kedian was diagnosed with larynx cancer 10 years ago, it severely impacted his ability to talk, to swallow, even just to breathe. But this morning, his life has been forever changed for the better thanks to an innovative new surgery at the Mayo Clinic.
You can hear my voice right now. 2 months ago, I couldn't talk.
A Massachusetts man given back his voice after a rare surgery. Marty Kedian is the first cancer patient to undergo a total larynx transplant.
I want people to know this can be done. And it's a process, but it's worth it.
The 59-year-old is part of a study aimed at opening the life-changing operation to more patients.
I said, no matter what, Gina, I'm getting my voice back.
While the organ may be known as the voice box, it's also vital for breathing and swallowing. But some doctors don't embrace the surgery because it can be possible to survive without a larynx, and organ transplants can be risky. Others disagree, though, arguing that the quality of life improvements are vital for overall health.
Patients become very reclusive and very kind of walled off from the rest of the world. My patients tell me, yeah, I may be alive, but I'm not really living.
Kedian is now talking and adjusting to new foods as doctors prepare to remove his breathing tube. And he says eating and breathing are only some of the benefits.
For the first time since the surgery, I can talk to my 82-year-old mother.
So amazing. And only 2 other people in the U.S. have had this surgery. Those cases were due to injury, not cancer. Researchers, though, hope to make the transplants more accessible to all. Wouldn't that be amazing?
Oh, yeah.
This is
what
a great
story.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lara.